My name is Keaton McMillan. I am 19 years old and I am a fifth year at the early college. I plan on going off and studying criminal justice at a college that I plan to go to, and I plan on going to Montreat College.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today, Keaton. And I heard that you and your mom just adopted a highway in Gamewell. Tell us a little bit about why you are randomly adopting a highway, or is that random, and why that road?
First off, yes, we did adopt a highway, me and my mother. It is a contract that we have to be in agreement with the state that we have to clean it up. Why we adopted that specific one is because my grandparents actually lived on that road. They lived on the road, and they actually built a house on the road. That's actually where my mom and her brother were actually raised. And whenever I was just born, I was actually raised a lot on that road because I spent a lot of my time with my grandparents at that house, and it means a lot to me. Um,
That's awesome. So, what's the process of adopting the road? Was it easy?
it was very, very easy. All you have to do is basically just submit something online, and you choose a 2 mile mark on any North Carolina road. It can be a highway, it can be a little back street that no one ever goes down, but it just has to equal 2 miles of road, and you are agreeing to clean that up for 4 years.
How many times a year do you have to go and pick up trash?
Per year, you only have to do 4 times a year, which is required, and you can do more if necessary.
That's awesome. So, have you gone and cleaned up the road yet?
We have actually. We have actually cleaned it up just once, which actually landed me being in the news topic, which was a very big surprise to me. I'm very surprised and thankful for all the support that we had just once, and I'm surprised at how much support we'll even get, even the second time or third or fourth. Even when I go off to college, I'll be coming back and cleaning this road as well.
So, who supported you in that first time? Who came out to help you pick up the trash and all?
It was some of my friends from the early college, some that are in my grade that are fifth years as well, and there was some neighbors that came out, and of course my family they came out, my mom and dad, and then her brother, and then his wife as well, and then their children. They came out and helped, and it only took about 2 days for us to do, and we cleaned up, and we got 21 bags full of trash.
Wow, 21 bags and 2 miles of road.
Hmm.
How did it feel to see all that trash picked up off a road that means a lot to you?
It felt really, really good. And it meant a lot to me because I could think of how long that trash has actually been there, because I could tell that it was sun faded or it was dust faded, and actually some of the fast food restaurants, they don't even make those type of boxes or cups anymore. Um, and I noticed that, and that I could tell that trash has been there for a very, very long time, and it meant something to me that I could go out there and actually clean it up and clean up the road. That actually meant a lot to me.
Did you find a way to make it fun doing all that work?
We did, and I was actually surprised at how fun that everybody thought it was going to be, and how much fun everyone had. And I was really, really surprised at that. My dad actually made sticks that we put a nail at the end, and it's kind of like a poking stick is what everyone calls it, to pick up trash, and that made it actually a lot more fun. And we made a game out of some of the things that we picked up, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So, how do you plan on getting more people involved in the Gamewell area?
I think, to be honest, that it's very important that they do contribute to the program that the state has to offer. It's a very, very good program. I think that people should consider doing it, if it's in remembrance of one of their family members, like we're doing, or if it's someone that they knew close and they actually passed away or died in a car crash, like a lot of the signs are. If they think of something like that, or even just like a musical artist, because some of the highways actually, one of them right in front of Chick-fil-A, in Lenore, you can actually check and see, and it says Prince. That is dedicated to Prince. and there was another one I seen that was to Michael Jackson. So just anywhere that you can volunteer and help out your community, I completely encourage it.
And I heard that your community is so impressed that they're honoring you guys at a event, right?
Yes, they are honoring us at next week's town hall meeting, which is February 2nd. Or no, sorry, February 3rd, and they'll be honoring me and my mother on it and recognizing us so that more people get involved with this program.
That's great, and find out what you guys are doing. So we're setting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals at CECHS, and a couple of the goals have to do with having clean water and sustainability. There's also goals taking care of the life on land, life below water, having a sustainable community. Do you think those are important in Caldwell County, or how do you see your project addressing some of those goals with sustainability?
I think that most of those goals that the United Nations put out, I think that most of them are very attainable, especially for the Gamewell community. Other parts of Caldwell County, I can't really speak on that much because I don't live in them. But the Gamewell community, I will make sure that I keep like life on water and life on land. That's something very important to this project that I'm doing, because of course it's, you're polluting, you're throwing stuff on the side of the road that is going to stay there for years and years and years if no one picks it up. And that's very, very important to especially us, and especially life like animals and even our lives, because it depends on like how we see it when we go home, or like when we're driving home we see it, and then that kind of puts down the community a little bit in a negative way if we see a lot of trash on the side of the road. And it very, very have a, like you said, a very sustainable community, which is what the United Nations put out.
And I think the Gamewell area has a lot of creeks too, right? So
Yes.
all that trash can drain into the creeks and affect the animals that way.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're helping the community, helping the animals in the community, and helping the people who rely on those resources for sure. What would you say to someone who's trying to find their own kind of project, like you found your project now to help your community that relates to some of these UN goals? What would you say to someone who's like, I'm not really sure what to do to help these goals, or what to do to help my community? What would you say to that person to help them find their thing?
I think, to be honest, that it doesn't even have to be really something that you clean stuff up on the side of the road and then you make the front of the paper. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something as simple as you helping the yoke fellow or second bloom or someone unload some boxes out of a truck. Just that, and coming back after you go off to college and then you come back from college. If you do come back, then that's very good. If you don't come back, then at least come and visit and help out the community that you might not appreciate now, but when you go off, you will appreciate it more and more as time goes on, as time you spent away from Caldwell County.
And then you said your sign's dedicated to someone in your family. Who's it dedicated to?
The sign's dedicated to my grandparents, my mother's mom and dad. And their name was Red and Shirley Andrews, or his real name was Thomas. They had a lot to do with in the Gamewell community. Papa, he served 26 years in the sheriff's department, and then 50 years at the Gamewell Fire Department. And then my nanny, Shirley, she retired from Caldwell County Register of Deeds, and she also worked for the fire department, and she also worked for Board of Elections, which was a very, very long time ago when they had a different process than now.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Keaton, for sharing your the way that you're giving back to the community and helping us all get involved in achieving these goals.
Thank you so much.